morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on your time zone. You are watching Seeds for You by Sherry. And if we're meeting for the first time, I'm Sherry. Today we're going to be talking about massage parlors that come with the quote-unquote happy ending, if you know what I mean. Now, I'm not going to be before you very long today. I'm just going to pop in and pop out and just share, a few things with you today about this topic. I was doing research on it and found it to be quite interesting. So let me just tell you a little bit about it. Okay, so the massage parlors that are quote-unquote come with the happy ending is really hidden in plain sight, a way to traffic people. So there's human trafficking going on in these parlors that have the happy ending. Okay, so let me just tell you a little bit about that. Now, many of the women that are in those parlors are like Asian women. Most of them are Asian women, and they have come over from their countries basically because of reasons that made them unhappy. Either they were in an abusive relationship or marriage, or they just wasn't doing well in that country at all, and they decided to come over here. Now, the way they decide to come over here in most cases, in these cases especially, is that they're answering a job ad. A job ad that is promising them a lot of money, once they get over here. But it doesn't have a job description. So these women, they spend a lot of money, trying to get over here. They come in contact with some lawyers, quote unquote lawyers, that are actually bad lawyers who are scamming them, to get a visa, to whatever it is that you need when you're a tourist to get over here. Let's just call it a tourist pass, because for lack of a better word of me not being able to remember the proper term for it, they become a target immediately. Now, before I get ahead of myself, a lot of these women meet the trafficker actually in their country. Now, this is organized crime, of course, and of course, like all of the other things that I've been sharing with you, they're like making millions and millions and billions of dollars in these industries. So it's kind of hard to get a handle on these type of industries because they're so big. Okay, but anyway, getting back to the story. So you have these women who come over here answering a job ad, because they're thinking that their life is going to be better. They get over here and immediately they are targeted by like the cab drivers. The cab driver is charging them like $300 to take them from A to B. They have people working in all these different areas. You know what I'm saying? You got the people working in the hotel. You got the people working with the cab service. And they're all working together. And so these poor women, a lot of them, they don't speak good English. So if they run into someone who speaks their language, then they feel a little safer with those people. But they're still being taken advantage of, because this is all a part of human trafficking, right? And so they get over here and their documents are taken away from them, which kind of leaves them very vulnerable. And then they tell them that they're going to make a lot of money working in a massage parlor, basically making it seem like this is really the only kind of work you will be able to get, is to work in a massage parlor. So they come over and then they get to the massage parlor, and it is nothing like what was explained to them. And now they owe a huge debt. They owe a trafficking debt. Because whatever money was spent on them to help them to get to this place, like if the cab tab was picked up, I'm just using that as an example, or anything, now that becomes a part of their debt. Okay, and so they get over here, the documents are taken away from them. They are told, if you try to go to the police, once they get into, the trafficking part of it, that they didn't know that they were signing up for, and then they were paying these lawyers to help them to get visas and everything, and these lawyers are scamming them, so they're paying a lot of money to these lawyers to be scammed. But anyway, so now they're here and they're in the parlor and they're giving massages, and some of these places are licensed, some of them are not, and what I'm told, and based on my research, that once it's found out that they are actually running something like that, they are banned or pushed out of that city or whatever. But all they do is go and start up somewhere else, and oftentimes it's not even far from where they were in the first place. But getting back to the story, so the young ladies, they're here and they find out that it's not what they thought. Not only that, the money that was promised to them, they never see. They barely have anything at all. So they're doing these services. Sometimes they're being abused by the buyers because the buyers have the power because they have the money. And sometimes they beat them or just do mean things to them. They don't have any love, any concern or care for them at all. And so these women are just in a bad situation. And so one of the ways to be able to tell which parlors have the quote unquote happy ending are the ones where the girls live there. Okay, or the women live there. Okay, if you see any signs where it looks like the women live there, that is probably a happy ending parlor, massage parlor. Okay, if you see groceries being delivered there, if you see activity after normal business hours, okay, these are all the signs to let you know that this is probably a human trafficking brothel massage parlor. All right, and some of the ways that some men can find out once they get there if this is one of those type of parlors is that they may say, you know, they come in for a massage and then they ask the young lady or the woman, does anything else come with it? And so that's like a cue or something to say, you know, yeah, well, this comes along with it and or that comes along with it. And so these women are trapped in these situations. And I just thought it was very sad to learn this, to learn that that they are tricked into coming over here. Now they owe an impossible debt that they will never pay off. And their families have no idea what's going on. Now they have come over here, they're thinking they're going to make money, they're thinking they're going to be able to send money back home to their family, but they can't. They can't even decide to go back home because it is so shameful in China or you know, wherever they came from. You know, it's so shameful once they have been targeted or recognized as someone who is a prostitute or doing this type of service. So they're like stuck in this situation. But there is help. So if you're out there and you're able to see this video, or you know someone, or you suspect that someone may be in this situation, there is help for them. There's something called a T visa. Because, let me not forget this part. These poor women, they just feel like they're in a situation with no help. The law enforcement is not even really help for them because some of law enforcement is participating. But are we surprised? I hate to say that. But it's crooked people in every field. All right, because sometimes when they did have a sting on some of these places, people like lawyers and judges, people like that were arrested. So they're participating. So these women don't really have any help, or at least they don't feel that they can trust anybody, you know, because the police are coming in there taking advantage of them, and then their trafficker is telling them, if you go to the police, you're going to be arrested and you're going to be deported. Okay, so they keep them in this position with all of these threats, you know. And oh my God, the more I learned about it, I just felt so bad for them. I just really felt bad for them because they came over here, you know, with honest intentions, but then they got locked into a situation that they had no idea that they were going to be locked into. They don't have their documents now, which makes everything even more complicated. But there are resources out there that can help. There is something called a T visa, I think, which came about in year 2000. And this is to help women like that. So even though they may have been arrested, you know, for these type of services, from stings or what have you, you know, it is a way to turn your life around. Because think about it. If they are lucky enough to get out of that lifestyle, and let's say they've been in that lifestyle for like 6 years and then they're trying to get an honest job if they're able to escape. And then, you know, some applications want to know, what have you been doing for the last 6 to 10 years? Well, they can't put that on their application. So it just looks like there's just you know, this space of time where they haven't done anything with their life. But now with that T visa, you're able to, if you were a victim of trafficking, you know, this will help you. This will help you to be able to get back into society, you know, and I believe, you know, I can't remember everything right now, but I believe that there are services that kind of help you, you know, to get some skills or what have you, so that you can get back into society. So there is so much more. I'm just so sad to learn this, you know, and I know my daughter, she told me, she said, Mom, you keep doing videos on all these dark, you know, these dark topics. Well, for me, these are things that I guess guess subconsciously you know that these things are going on in the world, but you're not thinking on those things. So, and because you're not thinking on them, it's like it doesn't exist, but it really does exist. So, part of the reason that I have this channel is to sow seeds into the lives of others, to bring awareness on various topics. And so when I found out about this, I thought this was worth sharing, because now, if you didn't know, now you know. Because if you pass by a massage parlor and it looks like, you know, it may be one of those happy ending parlors, you know, just know there are lives in there who are unhappy people. Not all of them want to be there. And I think it's safe to say that the majority of them do not want to be there, because when they came over, they didn't come over for that reason. They came over to get an honest job. You know, they thought they were going to get this high paying job, you know, and they thought they were going to be able to help their family back home. But now they're over here in modern day slavery. They're not even allowed to leave. And if they are allowed to leave, then they can only leave with someone that's called a runner. You know, so I guess this is a person who would drive them around and let them go to the malls or what have you, you know, little things like that. But they are still, it's like being in a prison. It's like having a security guard go around with you everywhere you go, because basically that's what it is. And then the saddest part, as I dug deeper, you know, even though I started off talking about the massage parlors, happy ending parlors, because that is trafficking, that is being hid behind a legitimate business, you know, as you know, that's they have this front to do this. It started taking me into other human trafficking documentaries where, you know, about children, you know, how some of these children are brought into that lifestyle and how young they are. And oh my God, it's just so sad. I just cannot imagine what kind of people, 6-year-olds, little kids, what is wrong with you? Okay? Oh my God. And then I think about my loved ones, you know, and I'm so scared, because when they get into that middle school age, if you're out there and you have a daughter, a granddaughter, a niece, you know, whatever, a little cousin, think about these things. Because when they're in middle school, while they have all these cell phones and stuff, and you think you're making your kid cool because you have them, and sometimes it's a convenience for us. I like to have my kids having cell phones when they were young, because if I allowed them to go somewhere and they didn't come home on the minute, I was able to call and say, hey, where are you? What's going on? You know, so after a while it becomes, you know, maybe more for you than for your kids, but it's not always safe. So you have some of these young people who have their cell phones. You need to monitor them. Now, I know it's a such thing as you feel like your kids feel like, Mom, why are you in my phone? Oh, how dare you? That didn't go on in my mama's house. Honey, child, you couldn't close a door, a bedroom door, sleeping with a bedroom door closed. Are you serious? Not in my mama's house. I'm going to tell you how serious she was about that thing. She had the door removed. She had my dad removed. One day we were swinging on the, you know, we had our feet on the door handles, and we were swinging back and forth on the door, having fun. The next day we came back, that door was gone. And it wasn't because we were swinging. It's because my mama was paying attention to everything. Okay? Some of you all are letting your kids make decisions. You're giving them too much power, too much leeway. It is our job to raise them, to lead, guide, and direct them in the way that they should go. So when they grow up, they can be healthy adults. They can be productive adults in society. You know, so yeah, get in your kids' business. Would you rather get in their business and have them manage you for that? Or would you rather they get caught up in trafficking because you were not in their business? Okay, you need to know who your kids are associating with. And if you have a young daughter and all of a sudden she's changing the way she's dressing and she's a little bit more revealing in her dress, you need to find out what's going on, because some of these people are being trafficked and they do not know they are being trafficked. And one of the ways that they can do that is that they have a boyfriend, and the boyfriend is being good to them and everything, but all the time he is grooming them for this, because at some point in time he wants her to prove her love. I've been doing all these things for you, now what are you going to do for me? I just want you to sleep with my homeboy. And all the time he's making money off of her, and the amount of money that they make off of these girls will make your lip drop. They're rich. They're living well. They're driving all these big cars, and they're making money off of our young girls. And some of them are just in the life for so long that it's just ridiculous. They go in really young, and if they're lucky enough to get out, they are maybe adults. And so now they have all this childhood trauma, and they need therapy. They need help. So I hope that me sharing this information with you will make you a little less judgmental when you see people in those lifestyles, because you don't know how they got there. Everybody who is in that lifestyle did not want to be there. Okay, so there is so much more that I can share, but I'm trying to cut down the time on my videos. I wanted my videos to be about 10 minutes. It looks like already I'm going into 15 minutes, so I'm going to stop right here. And, like, share, please subscribe if you have not done that. This is pretty much what my channel is about. And I hope to bring you more variety of things, but subjects like this, I'm going to share, because this is the problem that we need help with. Oh, yeah, and before I go, the truck stops, big place for trafficking. Big place for trafficking. Okay, and the truck drivers are participating, but in some areas, truck drivers have decided, no, that girl looks like she could be my daughter, and I'm going to scream. So they're calling the police. They're blowing the whistle. So this to me is a form of blowing the whistle. Start talking about it. The reason why they're so able to get away with it and to get away with it for so long is because it's a secret. All secrets are not good. Some are demonic. All right. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. I want to thank you for stopping by. Thank you for being here and for watching. Again, please share, subscribe, like, and comment. Send me a comment. I would love to know what you think. And if you have something that you want me to talk about, by all means, put that in the comments. I would love to hear from you. As always, love you all. Bye-bye.